Alright, so welcome to round one of the season three of the Arena Pioneer League, hosted by the Magic Pioneer Discord. I'm gonna be documenting and recording all my matches, giving some pre-game thoughts of how I feel everything's gonna go, and then I may do some post-match. But I'm gonna start by introducing what I'm playing. I'll introduce what my opponent will be playing today, and then we'll play the games, and then go from there. So, anyways, I am playing Enigmatic. So I'm playing a deck called Enigmatic Incarnation. It is built around Disenchantment. Basically, I'm sure as you're reading it, but basically at the beginning of my end step, this trigger is gonna go on the stack, and then as part of resolution, I may choose to sacrifice an enchantment. If I do, I can search for a creature with mana value 1 plus the equal mana value of the card. So if I sacrifice a 2 mana enchantment, I get a 3 mana creature. A 5 mana enchantment, get a 6 mana creature. Basically, it's very similar to Birthing Pod in term, but it's sacrificing enchantments for creatures. So we're an NMAG Incarnation deck. So one of the nice elements about this types of decks is we are typically toolboxy, so we're gonna have like a lot of different like cards to specifically tutor up and find answers to progress and win the game. Given that we are a Urian Sky Nomad deck, because the extra deck space, even though the variance is added, it's not the end all be all. But because we are playing Enigmatic, we also need a couple other engines to help the deck actually function, which is why we have Up the Beanstalk. It is very relevant to some of the other cards in the deck. But Enigmatic Incarnation usually is a 4 to 5 color deck, depending on the specific build of the deck. We are playing with the Zur and Overlord package from Duskmourn. For those who don't know, Zur Eternal Schema is enchantment creatures. It's a 1/4 flyer for 3. So enchantment creatures I control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. Hexproof is incredible. Death Touch and Lifelink are great for attacking, great for blocking. And we follow this up with the core of the 5 mana Overlords, the blue one and the green one. The green one helps us ramp, it helps us fix our mana, whereas the blue one helps us filter through our deck. It filters through the cards that we have on the first turn. If we ever attack with it, it's really good. We're almost always going to be casting it as the enchantment side. Very rarely will you see us actually be casting it for the full mana value. It's just not hyper efficient. So this is like the base of the deck. So like if we're on the most proactive and aggressive draw we have is turn 3 we play the Overlord of the Hauntwoods, turn 4 we play Zur, animate the Overlord of the Hauntwoods, attack for 5. In terms of how the creatures upgrade or downgraded with Zur, so once we animate them with Zur, they stay like those as creatures, no matter what, even if we lose all these impending counters. So Overlord Flood Pits gets upgraded from a 5/3 flyer to a 5/5 flyer. Overlord Hauntwoods gets downgraded from a 6/5 to a 5/5, and then the Mistmoors gets upgraded from a 6/6 to a 7/7 because it is a 7 mana card. So we have this core engine of Zur plus 2 Overlords and Enigmatic Incarnation. Um, the key number in the Zur Overlord Enigmatic builds is what are your 6 drops? And I'm running 3 this league. I'm running Demon Dark Schemes, I'm running Linvala the Preserver, and Noxious Gearhulk. Noxious Gearhulk is great. It's a target removal spell. It allows us to kill something, gain us life, and Noxious Gearhulk can then jump. So in a way, it's a 3 or 4 for 1, just built in. Linvala is a great stabilizing threat, making 8 power with the creatures and getting 5 life at the maximum, which is you're usually getting one of those two, if not both. And then all of it flying is great. And then Demon Dark Schemes is probably the weirdest card in the deck. No, it's not the weirdest. It's close though. But the idea is the deck kind of wants an answer for a sweeper. So we have these that we can sacrifice our Flood Pits and Hauntwoods to the Enigmatic Incarnation. Get Demon, Linvala, or Noxious. Notably, we're not playing any 6 mana enchantment creatures. So we can tutor out either the Overlord of Mistborn, which costs 7, or Atraxa, depending on the situation, if we want more cards or if we want more threats. Then we have just two other creatures at 3 mana that we can tutor up, and we'll go into some of the what our fodder is. We have Skycleave Apparition as one of the best removal spells on a creature in the format, and then Tranquil Throwback, which does a little bit of everything. It's great. I've tried a couple other cards that are very similar. Knife Autumn, it's good. The fact you don't have to pay mana is nice, but it doesn't do enough currently given the speed and the pressures that are being put on the format. And then the other one is Cutsil's Flank, which exiles Graveyard. This does basically both. So those are the creatures that we're playing. And then when we're looking at what we're actually following, we have Nowhere to Run as one of the best 2 mana enchantment removal spells in the format, if not the best. The fact they can give any creature -3/-3 is great, and we can get around Hexproof and Ward so good. And you really can't do any like domain style deck without playing Leyline Binding. It's usually going to cost 2 mana in this deck, but with the Overlord, the Hauntwoods, the green one, we can make it cost 1 because the Everywhere land has every basic land type. So that's the creatures, that's the enchantments, and now we just have a small package of instant sources built into it. Starting with the instants, we have 9 removal spells, 9 ways to interact with our opponent. Um, we have a place of advantage reverse because of how much reach it has into the format of everything it can interact with. We have Fatal Push because it is one of the most efficient answers in the format out there. And then we have March of Otherworldly Light, which is great as just it gets a little bit of everything, and if we want to spend like extra mana, we can trigger the Beanstalk. Oh yeah, in terms of creatures that do not trigger up the Beanstalk, so of the 20, only 14 of them do trigger, only 6 don't. The Forza, the Throwback, the Skyclave. The Overlord's trigger, and then all the 6 and 7s obviously trigger. The last card in the main deck is the first copy of Pillage Bog. If you haven't noticed already, this is an 81 card deck. Pillage Bog is the 81st card. It's both a land in the early game. You're almost never casting it, but in the mid to late game, it almost becomes like a tutor. Usually, it's looking at the top 10 to 20 cards. Usually, basically find a type of card you need. Do you need a removal spell? Do you want card advantage? Do you need a threat? Or a land? Like, that's really what we're looking for. And absolute worst case, we play it on turn 2, we look at the top 4, we put a land into our hand to guarantee our land drops. Because that's also important. Mana base, pretty straightforward. I built this mana base myself. I really like what Indatha Triumph does. I want to build around it. So that's what we did. We are playing the playset Cavern Souls. It's great against control. Um, great with the Zers, the Overlords. Usually the first 1 or 2 you're naming Avatar, and then you're going from there. Sideboard, we have a bunch of stuff. We have Deafening Silence. We have Thoughtseize. Deafening Silence help us against the decks that are looking to cast multiple non-creature spells in a single turn, like Phoenix, like Lotus Field combo, or any other combo deck, realistic except for creature-based combo decks. Rest in Peace. We're already playing a Tranquil Throwback in the main. We have an extra one on the side. So this is our third Graveyard Hate card that is permanently getting rid of it. It's on the low side of what I would play. Usually my go-to number is try and play like 4 ways to interact with the graveyard in the deck as a whole. So only playing 1 is fine, but at the same token, we're also playing in a different format where one of the stress cards that are stressing the format is Core Steel Cutter, and Rest in Peace doesn't do anything. Definitely Scientist can be better. Some knockout blows to help against red, temporary lockdown to help out with the cheap creatures in the format, Elvish Norn for top end decks or if we're looking to bring against threats. We have the Yorion, and lastly we have the Rogue Thar. Ruther, the fact it's a 6/6 Vigilance, gets around Lightning Axe, gets around Wandering Emperor. It's a threat that has to be dealt with. Usually it's very difficult. And we have 8 ways to produce red man deck. We have the 4 Camera Souls, we have the Overlord of Hauntwoods. Like there's plenty of ways to actually get red man in the deck, more than you think. And even in Cavern, we were looking to cast the Rogue Thar uncounterable if we have to. Otherwise, we can just sack one of the 5-mana Overlords. Elder Norn is probably the weakest card in the sideboard. It's the one I have not been impressed with, but it's still a very strong card, especially into specific matchups. And I want an additional threat. You can only really tutor it out if you have 2 Enigmatics in play, or if you draw it, so it's rough. So that's the deck. And so today our round 1 opponent is playing Abzan Greasefang. For those who do not know, the idea is you want to put a vehicle into a graveyard, ideally for Helion, so that way on turn 3, on turns 1 and 2, and then on turn 3 you play Greasefang and reanimate and attack for 13. Usually winning that turn. Now, this build of Greasefang is a little different than normal. I actually really like this build, to be honest. There's a lot of Graveyard Recursion. You have 7 pieces of it with Honest Rustine, Yathan Road Watcher, which is actually very good. It works great with this Knife Autumn. Um, Overlord Bournemore, just lots of ways to get back to Greasefang or recur the creatures. Um, and then as far as other things that the deck is doing, we have 4 Thoughtseize, a Traverse, a Witherbloom Command, 3 Triumph, a Cash Grab. And then this is the normal spread. That's the Sky Sovereign. It's not doing any of the new vehicles. The Chariot for some more of a mid-range value. And then sideboard is some pushes, a Containment Priest, which will come in against us. Some Vanishing Verses, Temp Lockdowns, Leyline Void, Damping Sphere, Terror Sunder. And yeah, that's this deck. So what's the weakness? So this build of Greasefang's strength is in its creatures. You have 7 ways to recur back creatures, either the Nightbottom or the Greasefangs, and then you have the Overlord to deal with eventually. And it's able to just mill a fair number of cards. Usually it should be able to kill us pretty quickly. Has a Witherbloom, it has the Traverse as one of, it has Triumph, it has Cash Crop. All this is fine. Like, realistically, they should be able to go off turn 3. Notably, their one weakness is they're only playing 4 discard spells in an entire list. It's something that I'm being mindful of. There's no duresses at all anywhere. They're sacrificing that for other things, which is fine. It's just something I have to be aware of. So yeah, I just reached out to the opponent, the person piloting this list. It's a sick list. It's definitely one I'm more so nervous on. Yeah, pretty straightforward of what this is, and yeah, like if you haven't seen Greasefang before, it use this build has a backup plan of saying I'm just not gonna go for the combo. I'm gonna try doing a mid-range value plan. If they Seeker's Chariots, I'll discard my Parhelions with the Fiends and Format and kind of go more fair. In terms of what they intend to bring in, they're gonna bring in the Vanishing Verses. They're gonna bring in the Containment Priest and the Terror Sunder. They're likely to trim maybe the Witherbloom command. I could see them trimming maybe some informants, but performance is the only means of pit ditching Discarding spells. You could bring the Road. No, you don't want to bring the Road Watcher. Maybe some Overlords. But those are the 4 cards I see them bringing in. I'm not entirely sure what they cut. Maybe the Sky Sovereign. So Sky Sovereign, Witherbloom, and then 2 Overlords. Rest seems pretty. Rest seems fine. As far as what we're bringing in, definitely the Rest in Peace. Definitely the throwbacks. The extra throwback. Fatal Push isn't great into this match. Demon of Dark seems actually pretty decent. It gives us the plan of like break grass. We have a sweeper. Noxious Gearhulk isn't great, so I could see cutting Gearhulk. But the fact it basically trades with it kills something. It's like in here realistically, I don't want to kill the Road Watcher. Base that does everything they want because they can get back the Overlord or the Honest Rutstein. So they can mill their deck a lot. That is something I have to keep mindful of. I'm looking to put them in a situation where like Atraxa or like White Overlord plus Zur is like making plenty of blockers. Throwback to blow up their Exile Graveyard. Like I want to position my throwback very strongly. And like in terms of what I'm hitting, I'm looking to exile these Grease Fangs. I want to force them just not to have access to the Grease Fangs because I feel somewhat confident I can beat their fair game. Because they have 12 creatures realistically. They don't because these are always only going to be 2-mana spells. They have 12 creatures plus the 4, so they can say have like 16. So in terms of what we're doing, I'm going to be cutting some number of Fatal Pushes. Not incredible. And then we'll play a Rest in Peace. We'll play the throwback. It may just be. It's gonna be better to do this. So in terms of what I'm doing here, we are cutting. We're bringing in the Rip, throwback. Those are like the 2 cards like I want to bring in. We can trim the Fatal Pushes. We can try trim the Noxious Gearhulk. It's not great with this setup. We can trim like Noxious Gearhulk, the Bush, and play 2 Thoughtseize all day. And again, the Thoughtseize aren't great. I think Fatal Push will just, the added interaction is just going to be good. So it may just be, it's probably just going to be 2 Fatal Pushes for the throwback, Rest in Peace. Lockables aren't great. Temporary Lockdown hits the Raffine's opponents and the tokens off of Seeker Chariot, but that's all. Could hit Elesh Norn. Oh, actually Elesh Norn is great here. Not as possible for them. Elesh shuts off a bunch of their stuff. Yeah, so we'll do Elesh Norn. We'll cut the 3 Fatal Pushes. And we can even trim the Beanstalk as well, so we can cut like 2 Fatal Pushes, a Beanstalk, depending on play and draw. Want to draw. Can't really play Beanstalk. I think things are gonna change. Maybe we want Lockdown as well. I think on the draw, I'll probably end up trimming some of these Beanstalks for like temporary Lockdown. Like on the play, like I keep in the Beanstalks, but on the draw, I probably cut one since I'm probably going to be holding up like Vanish First, Nowhere to Run, or like these Marches, or just even Leyline Binding. makes sense. This all makes sense to me. Thoughtseize is a thought. I'm gonna lean on the side of caution of not playing them because we don't want to discard their creatures since they can get them back. So we don't want to discard their creatures. We don't want to, like, our best hit is what? The Triumph? Yeah. Or like, maybe like a Vanish Reverse or Contained Priest, but they don't have like discard effects. Like, they need to be holding those discard effects for it if they want to combo off, since I know the matchup going into it. Anyways, I'm gonna pause the recording here, and then I'll be back for the, when my opponent's ready to go. Alrighty. Alright. Grease Fang. Grease Fang. On the draw. They kept 7, so they probably have the Grease Fang turn. I cannot keep this. We don't have. Well, turn 1, turn 2, we can play Indatha, we can play Verge, and go for the Grease Fang with Merchant. Sure. That's gonna be our plan. Like, if they have the Grease Fang, they can actually do this. I didn't realize I had this, artwork. I thought this was my Warrior Grave. I didn't realize this was, I didn't realize my Warrior Grave art got updated. One tap stars because I'm really basically this turn onward, we have to be very, very mindful. So our opponent didn't have a turn to play. Pass here we can't do too much. We just have to play Verge and pass. Because they rightly hit. They probably have Cash Grab here. It's the only reason why you shock in and pass is in case if they have Cash Grab. There it is. Alright. We are gonna pitch this one. Beanstalk. Is it worth it to shock? Probably not. It's not worth it to shock. I want to play this Spars, Echo, so we can get, or maybe we'll play out the Spars. We'll get the Domain 4. We have Grease Fang there, but we can't really do anything about this turn. The only thing I can really hit would be the Fiend's Informant, and I'm not really interested in fighting over that this turn. Probably take the Skyclave. I don't have too many good options here. sense. Alright, how do we beat this then? How do we beat the Angels? Anything we can draw? Probably not. Any 3-drop that's relevant? No. Alright, fill back in. Hellish Thorn in. Lockdown in. Fatal Push. We don't want Deafening Silence. We don't. Oh, we want the Rest in Peace. We're gonna be on the play. So what we should have mulliganed the hand, but considering we're in draw, we knew they kept 7. But the hand had a plan. It just wasn't proactive enough, or I didn't have enough going on with it. I'm gonna trim a Green Overlord. X-ray. Bilge Bug is probably the worst. No, that's a tutor. We'll trim a bean, like we said. Going to 5. Can't keep a 1-lander. We can't keep a no-lander. Going to 5. One to play. Turn 1, turn 2. The answers to get rid of that. We'll hold the vengeance. So I'm going to hold the Leyline Body instead for like a Traxa or whatnot. A lot of ways to mill the deck. That's fine. They whiffed. It's Avatar. And we have a good nice. We don't have an answer for this turn cycle. We can go Zer. Pull up either Animate or Vanishing Verse. Could attack, but going from 18 to 23 doesn't really change the clock. I get the land. We have a couple things going on. pressure points going on. We don't need to attack and threaten the fact that they could have Force Fang. Oh, we actually gonna play Banishers. Shoot, okay, we got really lucky. Next turn they can play it. This has constructed. Basically, our worst draw here is a Triome. Going back up to 19. They can play their Grease Fang. I would have argued that they should have taken the Launcher. Plus they're trying to do a spell. Like if they have Nazis here plus Grease Fang, it's let's attack. Let's buy this Urian. Here's, they can reanimate anything they really want. Another land. Can't through, they probably just have to pass here. They don't have a Nazis, and where do I put it? If I attack with everything, create a cat for the Sky Queen. I think I just attacked the Overlord and the Azure, and then I play the Nowhere to Run. Kill a cat. attack like this. Play around the snow where to run. Right past blocks. The thing about it, they want to block this overload. So it's an interesting situation. Wait, so we can kill both cats? Oh no, we want to kill the overload. You don't have the mana for Containment Priest. We want to keep it the same. The good thing about the Rukthar, since it blocks over the Noxious Gearhawk. Six. They run 15 plus 7. They run 22 non-creatures. I'm gonna be casting most of them. That's fine. Wait, they're on the play. That was all Morgan to 5. We look in, we have a Leyline Binding. Draw land 3. Yeah, no, we have to keep this. We have a turn 2 play no matter what. We either have the Pillage or the Binding. Pillage will get us a green land. They kept. We have Thoughtseize. Whoever this is. Right, the only Thoughtseize. Hopefully the only Thoughtseize I'll see this game. We'll see. I have to take the Binding. Or you can take the Pillage. I think those are probably your two answers. You could take the, okay, fair enough. Just know I'm not gonna hit my ninja. Get to turn 4, we should be able to go back. Here. My domain is 4, so we have the Leyline Bind to deal with Grease Fang. Skaven could actually go on Dinosaur, which is very funny, but I just want to name Avatar for their upside. Okay, so they didn't have a cash grab. Could have. Moment. Okay. I think I was trying to power through. Also makes sense. I can't use that to my advantage. I could Dinosaur guard. Get on pillage, try to hit Greenland. Actually, I don't even need to. I've laid on my own, so we'll take Cabin. Cabin on Dinosaur. Basically not going to use a graveyard. Not sure if that was the right choice, so I'll have to go back and review that. Sure, that's just a 4-3 right now. Let's do a check. Overlord. Destroy that one. You don't have a lot of cost. I bought myself a couple times. Do I have to take the Atraxa? Just accept the fact I have. Okay, fair enough. We're gonna leyline behind this Grease Fang. So they're going to kill their own thing. I guess what I should have done is I should have made the poison defensive into the hand. Yeah, that was a misplay. I should have held up the Leyline Binding to the beginning of combat. I also can't attack too well. Actually, don't think I care about this one. I just wanna get the value off the board. This Traxa. Traxa is how I'm gonna win this game. Oh. Except they have one draw. Draw one of the two Bitter Triumphs. Creature enchantments. Green black is actually. Redraw. One of the two. Destroy Exile. I think go back is just better to do here. Destroy Exile gain 4. No, we don't need a gain 4, so it's a 5-mana spell. 1, 2. 4 mana left over. Yeah. We'll destroy Exile and gain 4 life and hold up the Leyline. Tap the left one. There we go. Just not having just having those one-turn windows where they just don't combo off. Yeah. I'm gonna call the video here. Pretty straightforward on how the matches go. If you've been watching this, it's been an absolute pleasure, and until next round.